So today is the 5th of July. So let's talk about today's current affairs. The first one that is in the news is that there is a demand for restoring the education in the state list. Okay, there is a demand. The people are demanding that education should be in the state list. Now let's study about this education. So now education where is it now? So the education now it is in the concurrent list. Okay, concurrent list. I'm sure that you know that there are three lists, right? One is the central list, the second one is the concurrent list, and the third is the state list, right? So this presently it is in the concurrent list, but there is a demand that it should be in the state list. Okay, then why do we have education in the concurrent list? Because it have an all India policy, and also it tries to solve the corruption in the state-run activity in the state-run universities, right? But now there is a demand to shift education to state list. Why? Okay, so we are asked with the question why? Because this is because one size fits all. It is not applicable in India, because India is a diverse country, right? We have a lot of diverse places. For example, Northeast cannot be compared with Delhi. We cannot compare Tamil Nadu with Gujarat, right? So there should be different places in education, and it should be according to the need of the state. For example, Nagaland should have your own kind of school education. That is what they say. Okay, and also the revenue expenditure on the education actually is actually very less spent by the center, because center center is just spending 24%. Okay, but state state is spending 76%, right? So this is the reason why the people are demanding that it should be in the state list. Okay, and do you think that it should be in the state list? So give your answer in the comments. Okay, and then the next one is that Niti Aayog. I'm sure you know about Niti Aayog. Only today morning I talk about Niti Aayog in today's class, and then we ask about Niti Aayog in the exam. Okay, in Niti Aayog in the mains exam, like what are the functions of the Niti Aayog? So let me ask this, right? So Niti Aayog, it launched scheme. What is it? It is Sampurna. Remember this, okay? Sampurnata Abhiyan. Okay, so Sampurnata Abhiyan to kya say? What is Sampurnata Abhiyan? Then try to memorize this Sampurnata Abhiyan. Okay, so what is it? It is actually a 3-month campaign. Okay, to achieve other aspirational districts, right? So we have to achieve, there are 6 key indicators in the aspirational districts, in the aspirational block. So this we have to achieve it. So in Nagaland kila district aspirational district it is Kifri, right? So this aspirational, there is something called aspirational district program, there is something called aspirational blocks program. This all are being undertaken by the Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog last scheme gan important as it. They may ask this in the exam. Okay, so this aspirational district program do, if you look at it, it do 2018 the launch kurishe by Niti Aayog. Okay, so that they can transform 112 districts across the country. They selected 112 districts, and which Kifri is one. Okay, and they have to try to focus on different things, like on the health, on the education, on the agriculture, financial inclusion. Financial inclusion means like everybody should be rich, it should be equal, the money should be equally distributed in infrastructure. So there are different indicators just we need to focus upon. Though what about aspirational block program? It will be Niti Aayog laga ase, but this is new. Okay, so it will 2023 the launch kurishe. and this was launched so that there are 500 blocks select korishi, and same they have 40 indicators aru tadi development karni anishe. So idu makala niti ayog kandu iniga like they used to bring a lot of this kind of schemes, a lot of like report kan patai tagina. So these are important for NPSC, okay, especially. Now the next one is Aditya L1. Did you heard about Aditya L1? Aditya L1 is like, I'm sure you know about Aditya. Aditya is like a guy. So let's talk about Aditya L1. Let's check into photo, okay? Aditya, let's see that we are going in visiting Aditya L1, okay? What exactly is it if you don't know? So ido ase picture do. So this is Aditya L1, okay? So Aditya L1 means taikanto Ito mission do India la ase de it is a mission, Indian space mission ase. Aru ito ki karne ase. Ki ase do sun ase na. So to study the sun, okay? Sun la corona. Corona is the one that is like not the corona 2019 la corona no hoy, but sun la outer layer gina corona kuide. So this in order to study about this, so ito Aditya L1 do patay okay? So now we are understanding that they have completed the first hello orbit, okay? So this was actually inserted in around like early 2024. Now it's the July 5 was na achido. So it took around like 178 days, okay? 178 days to complete that, okay? So know about Aditya L1. Aditya L1 to ki last in ito chanibi. Next to Britain Notes Conference, they celebrated what 80th anniversary, okay? So matlab kya ase? What is the meaning? The meaning is that this Britain Notes Conference, this is officially now known as United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference, okay? So this was after the Second World War, International Monetary Fund, okay? So here they decided that there will be the International Monetary Fund. I'm sure you know IMF. Then there is the World Bank. The earlier name for World Bank is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, okay? All this were formed, okay? So these are important. They will ask you, what is the membership of IMF? IMF to kote ase? IMF la location kote ase? Headquarter kote ase? They will ask you this, okay? So the IMF, the headquarter is it? Location to kote ase? Is located at Washington DC, which is in the United States of America, right? This is IMF location, okay? So this you need to know, okay? And also India is also a member of the World Bank. India is a member of the World Bank, as well as India is a member of the IMF. This you know, right? Then the next is the center have developed national indicators in order to measure extreme poverty. Those people who are staying in extreme poverty, na, taigan la idu kinika measure koribo, idu la idea develop korishe. So this is actually known as National Indicator Framework. So if in NPSC or UPSC, if they ask question on poverty, you can always write this. This is how you use the current affairs, okay? It doesn't mean that it has to come only in the prelims, but even in the mains, you can use all this and it will be helpful for you to show them that any poverty la question you have to write this, okay? This is very important. So India National Indicator to Iman Bishya say we have studied about Sorish Tendulkar. This I've already talked with you when I talk about economics, that Sorish Tendulkar la committee report say there are different kinds, right? So in India we have different means to measure the poverty. One is also the national multidimensional poverty index. So this is ido ki para launch korishi ido Niti Ayog they used to give all this report na Niti Ayog la kam ini ka ase. So tekala kam to accordingly they believe that the poverty has reduced, okay, to 14.96%. so give this data in the mains, okay, the data in the mains the thali divi there. Now tourism meeting, there was the 6th meeting on the global partnership on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence lana there was a meeting, okay, there was a meeting that took place. Kuti tagishe, this was located this took place in New Delhi, right? So I'm sure you know about artificial intelligence AI laso chanyasina. So this is GPA AI de manu kiman ase members kiman ase holi the countries kandu 29 members ase. India ase na? Yes, India ase. Because why? Because India be member ne thakili, why will they, you know, why will they have a meeting in New Delhi, right? So use your own dimag, okay? So remember that India is the chair for GPI in 2024. Now is which year? 2024, right? So here to discuss that, we have to understand the potential of AI. We are now living in a computerized world. We need artificial intelligence. So it lies chandibul like it. So they decided that, okay, aro AI la chandibuli no hoy, but there are certain challenges that comes. For example, movies can decide like I've seen a movie wherein there was an AI robot that was developed and the robot started attacking the human being. So we need to understand the challenges they discuss. Then they decided that we need to have a human-centric AI. Human-centric AI. It will be important as say. And then they decided that next to 2024 to 2025, we have to hold another chair to kon hubo hoile Serbia, okay. So now last year in NPSC there was a question on artificial intelligence essay dina. So in all this thing you can write this like recently in a 6th global partnership on artificial intelligence they discussed this, they did this, they did that in. So this is how you use the data of the current affairs to substantiate your answer in the mains, okay. I hope you're understanding. Now the next question is the World Intellectual Property Organization. They have released a report, that is the WIPO Patent Landscape Record on Generative AI. So India do generative AI lade India do kiman rank dia ase koishi holi do according to this report India do 5th biggest location ase koishi de. And the highest to guess highest to China, okay. China will always be here. Now the next is that Supreme Court per ki question. Supreme Court said that constitutional rights of a speedy trial do kuti ase, speedy trial do kuti mention korigana ase. Speedy trial is mentioned in Article 21 of the Constitution, right? So they say that this applies to all the cases regardless of the crime's activity, okay. So this has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. So remember this, okay. So they may ask you speedy trial to kila article the IAS, which fundamental right. So you'll be confused between Article 19 na Article 21. Ido Article 21 na side. And the next is that nowadays there is a Zika virus, right? So let's look at Zika virus. Zika virus. So this is Zika virus. So this is how Zika virus takes place. We're gonna first let's understand the picture, right? It was Zika virus aside. So Zika virus, actually now Zika virus to kuti payasi is Maharashtra di payasi na. So remember that this is mosquito. What is this? Mosquito, right? So mosquito la. The name of the mosquito is that it is, I don't know how to pronounce this since I'm not from a science background, but Egypti or what, I don't know. This actually. So remember that idubra mosquito bra bite korile paide, and this is they can get a bite korease during the day. During the day, some dina bite kore, and they're also responsible for transmitting dengue. Okay, so Pachakan, what are the health concerns? For example, if a woman is pregnant, na, then they la pachalado, they pacha pailito, pachatu, mata chutu babo, okay? Big, small head, small mata, small size, na, small head size, idu babo there. And there is something called neuropathy, and so on. Okay, so this is the bite, so we have to be very careful. And nowadays, till now, there's no vaccine available for this. Okay, so nowadays, be away from mosquito. The next is apita. Have you heard about apita? Apita do ki ase? Apita means agriculture and processed food. Processed food to kya ase? Processed food is something that is being manufactured in the industry, right? So apita, agriculture and processed food products, export, development authority. So you need to know all this, okay? Because you may be thinking, like that, but these are important for you to clear the exam, as well as once you clear the exam, if you become the TC, you have to deal with all this, because TC is the implementation authority for every program, right? So the New Zealand has denied India's request for a certification to a GI deck on basmati rice. So India wanted basmati rice, okay? But New Zealand has denied this. Why? Because, and what is apita? Apita do export kan la processed food or agriculture food kan la export la asna. So this is for basmati rice to India la ase. To ido register koribo. For example, New Zealand will register koribo, something like that. Okay. So it helps in export of the products and also improving the quality of the products, in letting the whole world knows that this is India's basmati rice. Okay. So something like that, but New Zealand have declined that. Now you need to know that the union government I can ask na, they can cabinet committee to constitute korishi. Kiman constitute korishi this time? Eight korigana asina. To eight to ki ase holi to appointment committee. Idu Lakshmi Kandi babade accommodation, economic affairs, parliamentary affairs, political affairs, security, investment in growth, and skill, employment, and livelihood aside. Then the next one is they have appointed a new chairperson for National Medical Commission. So National Medical Commission too. Let's check in internet who is the new chairperson of National Medical Commission. Dr. P.N. Gangadhar. Let's see the photo. P.N. Gangadhar to kote ase. So ido ase. To moi kan lag P.N. Gangadhar to ido ase. P.N. Gangadhar. So this P.N. So to me ask in the exam also kun nutun National Medical Commission la chairperson to kun ase holido Dr. P.N. Gangadhar. Ganga means Ganga River. Just think that he is swimming in the Ganga River. Okay, so idu do constitutional body na ki ase holi do. This is a statutory body. Okay. You need to know about air pollution because in BSc dina utaina they will ask about pollution. Okay, in environment there will always be a question on environment, especially in essay. No, any answer writing dina thakibo. So they say the air pollution di moikan the Lancet to kila say. So what is the Lancet report to kila say? This I've seen this in NPSC prelims also. Okay, so the kila say holi the medical say na. So they say that they have short-term health impact air pollution na. So remember this data and use this data in your exam. Okay. This is known as data. Like exam team, everybody can write on air pollution. Manu super air pollution do we can pacha time air pollution la kota koya say. We know about air pollution, but the data we don't have, right? So apni la answer to kina stand out kuribo holi do. You have to write really good answer on air pollution by adding the data. Okay, and this is the data that I'm gonna tell you now. So they say that approximately we can the annual date do 33,000 life na muria ase. Okay. Pollution in 10 cities of India. The 10 cities, India the 10 cities ti ekla de ase. Okay. So kut la chakati high ase. If you think Delhi is the highest, because apni Delhi chaili hoisholi na, there are lots of like you can't even see the stars in Delhi because everything is so polluted, right? So this is the reason, right? So India's air quality is really bad, and according to Lancet report, you tell them that we have an annual death of like 33,000, which is attributed to 10 cities of India, and some of the words are Delhi, Varanasi, Kolkata, and so on. Okay, so you can write all this. Now next to get do WHO. To get I'm sure you know about WHO, right? WHO have given us tobacco cessation guidelines. Okay. Though WHO do KSA World Health Organization as na, though we have to they give the first ever clinical treatment guideline. Okay, because why they say that there are lots of people manuso pra tobacco to khabuli to phal nai jani ase, but it's very difficult to quit tobacco, right? I'm sure, I don't know whether you take tobacco or not, but even if you're taking, it's difficult to quit, right? So they say that WHO la study do ki ase holi do. And you can write all this in the exam also, okay? That 750 million tobacco users wants to quit, okay? But they are finding it difficult to quit, right? So this is the reason why, because because we don't have a proper healthcare infrastructure, proper medical, no proper tawaikan kabli, proper doctor assess kan nai na. So this is the reason why we can behavior in change koribuli no hoy, but medical intervention bi koribuli lage. Matlab medical bi like drugs, if you are trying to avoid the drugs, they OST kan na edukan type the tobacco karne bi enika type ti boli ase. So this is what WHO have recommended. Okay, now the next is Apatani tribe. There is a tribe called Apatani tribe, so they will ask you this in exam. Okay, Apatani tribe to kutti tribe te kila chakati pai. I've seen this in NPSC prelims question. Apatani tribe, right? So this looks like Northeast people, right? Notice kani thakibo to. So this is the Apatani tribe, right? So Apatani tribe do they can do Arunachal Pradesh tipai the Arunachal. Arunachal is a very beautiful place. So Arunachal Pradesh tipai, and they have said that they have found a new species of frogs where forest dwelling horn frogs are there, and this is from the Delhi Wildlife Sanctuary. So they may ask you Delhi Wildlife Sanctuary to Kutipai. Okay, where is it located? They may ask this in UPSC also, and they may ask this in NPSC also. So this is located in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Arunachal Pradesh ti pai idu last century do na to apatani tribe to idu zero validity ase aru taikan bi kiba de ase just they are found in Arunachal Pradesh. It is important as you remember this, okay? So if you can remember this, then that will be good for you. So now wait, okay. Let's talk about exercise Maitri. Exercise Maitri though. Maitri. To exercise to yukala exercise no hoiti do. But this is military exercise. They can military. It was a military exercise. They can military exercise kuride. So you think that it is from kila chaka Korea se. Wait, okay, Maitri. Maitri military. So, Timmy asked this in the exam also, okay? So, Maitri. So, it is Maitri military exercise. The military exercise is a country. So, the country is between India and Thailand. India and Thailand, okay? India and Thailand bra exercise Korea, okay? So remember tree is like tree, na? Tree matlab tree. So remember that it is between India and Thailand, okay? Next is United Nations Conference on Afghanistan. There is a thing called United Nations Conference on Afghanistan. Idu koti tagishi, idu Doha di tagishi. Do remember koribe. Doha do koti ase, it's in Qatar. Okay. So they will ask you, UN Conference on Afghanistan, where was it held? Okay. The next is that there is something called Spice Award. Spice Award. So they can award can be uti tagide. So Spice Award was won by Kun Chitishe. One girl goes Sopna Kalingal. Sopna Kalingal. I think she's can't see her full picture. Okay, and those Spice Award, those Sobna Kalingal, they do agriculturist aside, aru they do kiba brase from Kerala. So they paishe. Okay, so remember the one girl is like Sobna is like Sapna, right? Sapna means trim. So they gonna trim the Spice la paishe. The brother she got that award. So you have to understand all that, right? Next is that India hosts 46th UNESCO World Heritage Committee. Okay, World Heritage Committee session India pura yati idu host korishu. Okay, and here this was host to koti tagishi New Delhi de tagisha. Okay, so they can World Heritage to kina convene koribo, kina conserve koribo, monuments kina koribo, something like that. So they discussed here. Okay, so where was it held? This was in remember that this was in New Delhi. So they will ask you Dick Scoff. Dick Scoff though kunla Prime Minister. He's been appointed as the Prime Minister. Kila Prime Minister Korisha like Dick I don't know why his name is Dick Scoff, but so he's the Prime Minister of Netherlands. Okay, ito matado Prime Minister of Netherlands aside. So they will ask you this, okay? Prime Minister of Netherlands, the newly elected Prime Minister of Netherlands kuna se. They will ask you that kind of question, okay? Now the next question is India, Mongolia. India and Mongolia do joint military exercise tagishide. The joint military exercise do kote tagishe. Though it was in Meghalaya di tagishe, okay? So India Mongolia la military exercise ki koya seri nomadic elephant. Remember this, okay? It will be, they may ask you this military exercise I ask in exam, whether it's NBSC, NSSP or UPSC, okay? Then there is something called Sena. They may ask you Sena spectabilis. So it actually kia say it what is this? They may ask you this, okay? Sena, let's check. Sena spectabilis, right? So it's this one, right? It looks very beautiful, and Instagram it will looks like very aesthetic. But what is it? So it this is invasive plant, okay? What is invasive plant? They are from like invasive plant. Actually, these are found in Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Wayanad is in Kerala. Aro daikan yellow color ase. Aro they threaten the other native species. Like yadi pool iktan India la ikta thakisholi do. They come in the threatened this, okay? This is the reason why they are known as invasive species, okay? Down syndrome. I'm sure you know about Down syndrome, right? So Down syndrome, let me ask you, what is Down syndrome, okay? Even in science also, this was in news, okay? So let's look at how does the people with Down syndrome, they can do kinika dikhiase. They look like this, okay? So somebody from Down syndrome looks like this, and what is it? This is a genetic disorder. Ito genetic disorder asite ito la genes la na. Aro ito ki la ase chromosome, extra chromosome takala asite. So this is like manu ekta extra chromosome ekta thakishi hole, extra copy of chromosome 21. This is important from science also. They will ask you this, okay? Chromosome kiman extra na ne thakina, chromosome ne thakina, indical type also they will ask, okay? So this is all for today.